Oh, ignore this goth cheerleader look that I have going on today. Don't know how that happened, but Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Amber. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Poshmark app, and I'm going to be sharing my top tips on how to be successful and make money on it. For anyone who isn't familiar, Poshmark is a free app that allows you to sell products including new or used clothing, accessories, and makeup. Very similar to like Let Go or eBay or whatever, but on a more specified level, and it helps you kind of control a little bit more of it. It does take a small commission out of each sale you make, but in return it handles all shipping and money transactions. So all you have to do is package and print your shipping label to send it out, and then you get to decide how you want to redeem your money, either through direct deposit or just going ahead and re-spending it on the app. To get started, all you have to do is download the app, create an account, and either start buying or selling. I personally have made over $200 on the app in the past year, and I've purchased over 15 different products from other sellers, so I can verify that it is safe and easy to use. I am a Posh ambassador, a top seller, a top rated seller, a top 10% sharer, a Posh mentor, and a fast shipper, like all certified on the app. So while this video is technically sponsored by Poshmark, I do have a lot of experience and actually know what I'm doing and genuinely want to help you guys out if you want to start your own shops. So without further ado, here are my personal top tips on how to be successful and make money on Poshmark. So first things first, you definitely want to have clear, concise listings. That means you have a good title that actually describes what you're selling. So instead of being like black t-shirt, it'll be black long sleeve concert t-shirt for the used, as an example. Because there's so many sellers who just like to be like, oh, tank top or long sleeve shirt or shirt. And it's like, that doesn't tell you anything about the product, and it doesn't help if you're trying to search for a specific type of product. It won't show up anywhere, and so it's just going to be lost in the limbo of the thousands of closets that are on Poshmark. The closets is what Poshmark calls each person's shop. That also means that you have clear pictures of your listing. So if you have something that's blurry, people are going to be like, okay, well, what are you trying to hide? Is it stained? Is it ripped? You know, so you want to have clear in focus pictures as well as multiple pictures. The app allows you to put 8 different pictures for each individual listing. Up to 8. You don't have to have that many. I personally recommend having that many if there are enough pictures to be able to take of the product. Sometimes if it's straightforward, you can only do like 5 or 6 pictures, but if you can, I suggest all 8, so that way nobody is wondering what you're trying to hide about the product. They can see the product in different lightings and different settings, and if possible on different bodies, or at least on a body, so like you can model what you're wearing, or if it's not something that fits, then just have it propped somewhere. And then you're going to want an accurate description. So instead of just a, you know, crappy one-word description like, oh, pre-used or tank top or shirt, you know, you want to describe what the brand is, what the color is, what the condition is, all that jazz. Like anything you know about the product, you want to list it in the description. So that way, again, people aren't trying to think that you're scamming them. They think that if they purchase the product, it'll be a good decision. My second tip is sharing. Sharing is when on the app you can go and you can share a listing to your followers or to a specific party that the app has that are pretty much, you share things of a specific category. You want to share your own listings to your followers. I personally recommend at least once a day, so that way anybody who's on the app at any different time, it'll most likely come up in their feed, so they can see at least some of your listings that you have, and then that creates an active account for yourself. You want to share other people's listings, because a lot of the time on Poshmark, if you share a listing or follow someone, they will either follow you back or share another one of your listings. So it's kind of like the whole pay it forward thing, where it's just one thing will start and then more people and more people. And so like the potentially an infinite amount of people could end up seeing your listing. And the more people who see your listing, the more likely one of them is going to want to purchase your product. I definitely recommend participating in what Poshmark calls parties, which again, I mentioned earlier, is when you share items of a specific category into a specific spot that you can see on the app. It's always temporary. It usually lasts for an hour to a couple of hours, hosted by different people on Poshmark. So a lot of the category will be like, oh, best in dresses or best in makeup or activewear or designer and all different kinds. So if any of your personal products that you have correlate with the topic of the party, definitely share it to the party as many times as possible. Well, I mean, you don't want to spam the party, but at least several times throughout the hour or several hours that the party is going on, so that way it's seen by the most amount of people. And then 2, you can also share other people's products into a party, so that way if you don't have anything that correlates with the theme, you can share other people's, and then they'll be more likely to share stuff of yours as well. My third tip is utilizing the offer to likers option, which pretty much means if somebody has liked your product that you have for sale on Poshmark, you can then set, there's an option where you can make a personal offer to anybody who has liked your listing and pretty much offer a lower price than what the product is listed for, making people more likely to purchase your product because everyone wants, you know, items for sale. I personally will do immediately, like as soon as I'm on the app after they have liked the product, because you'll get a notification if somebody likes a product. I do an offer to likers as quickly after they like the product as possible. Usually just $1 to, like, pretty much the minimum amount that you can offer as a discount, because when you offer to likers, it has to be at least 10% below the listing price, and you have to have a shipping discount, which comes out of your cut of the sale. So I personally do like a minimum offer to likers as soon as they like the product, and about once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks, I will go through and every listing that I have in my closet, I will do an offer to likers that's a super kind of discount, so it'll get sent to everyone who has liked the product and ever really, except Poshmark does not explain this very well, and I've found this out after trial and error. When somebody likes your product and then you do an offer to likers, if that person ever wants to get the notification again, your next offer has to be even cheaper than the original offer that you put. So sometimes an offer won't get sent to every single person if you have already offered them a lower price in the past. But it will still get sent to multiple people, and then again you can just continually offer lower and lower prices, so it does get sent to everyone depending on your preference. My fourth tip is having what I call a clean closet. So how I personally do it is I have all of my active still for sale listings at the very top of the closet, and then I make sure that anything that is labeled and has been sold will be listed at the very bottom, because on Poshmark when you sell an item, it does not delete your listing, it just has like a little sold price mark on it. And then when you share items, they are listed at the top of your page. So pretty much if you have a specific order of how you want your products to be seen in your closet, that's the order that you have to list them in, but backwards, because the most recently shared is on the top. I don't know how to better explain that, but you'll figure it out. It's not that hard when you actually get going. I personally like to group my products by category because I find it's easier to find products that way. So I have like jewelry at the top, and then accessories and purses and shoes and women's clothing and men's clothing, and then I even further down, so like I will organize them going up by size if I have multiple sizes of a product, and then specific things, so like, you know, there'll be undergarments and then pants and then shirts and then dresses, and you know, I kind of build an outfit as a listing, because unfortunately the one thing I do wish Poshmark would implement is different category labels in the closet. So if I were to go onto somebody's shop and be like, okay, I'm specifically looking to see if you have any dresses, I'd like to be able to press a button and only dress listings will pop up. Unfortunately, they do not have anything like that at the moment for individual closets. Like, you can just go onto a dresses category for the entire app. But I do wish they would implement something like that, because as of right now, the only organization that closets have are what you do yourself. And there are a lot of sellers who don't organize their closets in any way. So sometimes you'll have to scroll through hundreds of items, and some of them are sold and some of them aren't, and they're all different sizes and all different categories. So it kind of makes it a little bit harder if they don't personally organize their own closet. That is why I like to organize my closet. I want my viewers and my customers to be able to find what they were looking for quickly and effectively. So my fifth tip is to be regularly active on the app. That doesn't mean you have to like buy stuff all the time or always be adding listings. While adding listings regularly is a good idea because it shows your followers that you are active and still actively have things for sale. Definitely don't be a ghost, like post something and then don't go on your app ever again, because there are a lot of sellers who do that. So sometimes you will purchase an item and that person just never gets it. So I'm not saying you're going to lose your money, because Poshmark deals with that. If they don't ship out your item within the allotted amount of time, they will refund you or just not take the money out of your account. But yeah, there are some people who, you know, you'll ask a question and then never get a response, which is another tip under this umbrella. If people ask you questions or leave comments, respond, unless the comments like stupid, like, oh, you know, check out my closet, which you can totally check out their closet if you want to, but you don't really need to respond to those. Whereas if somebody's like, hey, what size is this, or how does it fit, or is there any damage, you definitely want to answer any questions about any of the products that you have for sale, because that increases your likeliness of making a sale with either the person asking the question or another person who comes along later and will see that you've answered the questions. And, you know, they might be like, oh, I was gonna ask that question, or I was wondering that, and now I know, and now I know if I should or shouldn't buy the product. And then two, just be nice. Be nice to everyone on the app. Nobody deserves to be rude. So like, if you are asking questions, don't make anybody feel like it is a burden to answer the question or find out what they are asking. If you don't know, don't lie and, you know, come up with some BS answer. Just be like, hey, I'm so sorry, I really don't know the answer to that. Because like, if somebody asks for a brand and you don't know, just be like, I'm so sorry, I bought it way too long ago, I don't know, or anything like that. I personally, when somebody purchases a product, I will leave them a message letting them know that I thanking them for their purchase and letting them know that I have it packaged and that I will be dropping it off either that day or I've already dropped it off, which a lot of people respond very well to and are always very thankful that I am keeping them updated and letting them know, instead of just, you know, wondering, oh, am I going to get my product? Am I not? Who knows? So if that is something you want to do, that is totally, you know, great. But if not, not very many sellers do this at all. I don't think I've actually seen any other sellers do this, except maybe one. There was one girl who was really nice and very helpful with a purchase that I made. But otherwise, not very many sellers do that. That's something I personally like to do because I want anybody who's purchasing from my shop to feel comfortable with their transaction. And then my last tip, which is kind of just a combination of everything I have already said, but I do recommend following all of the criteria and trying to become what's called a Posh ambassador. Which on the app there is an option, it'll let you know all of the like the list of everything you need to accomplish to be able to become a Posh ambassador. It includes you have to have a certain amount of listings, a certain amount of sales, you have to maintain a certain rating on your sales, along with a few other things. But pretty much it just makes sure that you are an active seller who is not trying to scam people And once you do become a Posh ambassador, I don't know how the app does it, but it does boost your visibility, so more people see your shop. You gain tons of followers. Like literally before I was a Posh ambassador, over like months of being a seller, I had just under like 1,000 followers, and then once I became a Posh ambassador, within the span of a few months, I've already boosted and I'm like at almost 9,000 followers on the app. There are a lot of closets that I'll see that have, you know, upwards of 10,000. I think I've even seen people who have like over 100,000 followers, which, well, it's not like social media where you're going to be getting a ton of likes or activity based on your follower amount. That is that many people who are seeing the posts and the sales that you are listing, and that many people who have the opportunity to purchase your products. So you definitely want a larger amount of followers on the app. And two, if you become a Posh ambassador, you will get exclusive access to different things. For one example, because I am a Posh ambassador and such a high rated seller, I got the opportunity to be one of the first of what they're calling the Posh affiliates, which is giving people the opportunity to make money and be sponsored by Poshmark to do different things on social media. So for example, I'm getting sponsored to make this video, which is so funny because I was literally already going to make this video. Not in the exact format that I've chosen to do, because this is more based on the criteria that they were looking for. But I was going to do like a how to be successful on Poshmark video. So now I just get the opportunity to make a little extra cash for it that I can either redeem via direct deposit or sell on the app, just like any money that you make from any listings that you sell. So yeah, pretty much if you follow these tips that I've given you, you shouldn't have any trouble trying to start your closet and making sales and making money off of the app. If you are interested in downloading the app for yourself, go ahead and use the link I have down below. And if you use the sign-up code amberbystyg, you'll get $5 towards your first purchase. If you would like to follow my closet or see anything that I personally have for sale, go ahead and search my closet, which is under the title Amber by STYG. If you have any other questions about the app or about selling on Poshmark that I might be able to answer, go ahead and leave a comment below and I will respond to that. Or if you already have your own account, leave your closet name down below and I will take a look at your stuff. But anyways, yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a blast hanging out with y'all. Peace.